Cool. Hey, welcome everyone.
Welcome, everybody. Of course, if you're familiar, it's the Eagles Nest podcast, where we break down all the real estate conversations buyers and sellers are having today. I'm, of course, Brad Brewer.
And I'm Vincent Devall. We're with the Eagle Homes team powered by Coldwell Realty. And today we're doing something a little bit different, Brad. We're putting each other on the spots with a little bit of Q&A.
That's usually dangerous on the golf course.
I
But
know.
yeah, we're turning the this episode into a Q&A between the two of us. Real questions, real opinions, real stats, and everything you need to know about the season's impact on real estate market in Wisconsin and, of course, Illinois.
Yeah, I love it. But one thing we're going to start doing every week is we're going to highlight a local business and a current listing of,
Our
one of
team.
our team members,
Yep.
whatever. So go ahead.
So with the holidays coming up, I keep thinking about Love Inc.
Yeah.
I've
Great organization.
Great organization. They've got the food pantry. They've got the furniture store, a donation center for you can donate clothes,
Yep.
old household items you don't want. You get the tax write-off receipts, all that good stuff. So it usually pops in my mind this time of year. I try to donate some stuff as I'm cleaning up the house, or whatever, a couple times a year, whatever it is. So, but they do a lot for the community. But I feel like people don't always realize how big their impact really is.
Yeah, no, they like you said, they're the backbone support in Burlington here. You have the food pantry, a community meals, thrift store, and emergency assistance, right? They're helping families every single day, and honestly, this time of the year is huge for them.
Forgot about that. They have medical equipment.
Yep.
I remember our family was in need of
I used a walker. I used
walker.
I used a walker when I had my hip
Yeah,
replaced.
and that stuff's expensive, and you can go check it out. So that's actually a really cool thing. So it is donation season too. So people are cleaning out closets, getting ready for the holidays. Perfect timing, of course, for me. It's gonna be right around the corner. First of the year, I'll already kick into spring cleaning mode.
Yeah, there we go.
Because I'm early.
So if you got clothes, coats, food, medical supplies, whatever it might be, just stuff you don't need anymore, go ahead and get it over to Love Inc., right? Their donation center is right down Milwaukee Avenue right here. Go check them out there.
Right on the side of the furniture store between it's now I think called, it used to be Brindleman's, now it's Ace.
It's Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware.
Yep.
And for some cool idea for parents, I've seen families do this, and it's pretty cool. Before Santa comes, you can have your kids pick out 3 or 4 toys, coats, or books, and they're willing to donate.
Yeah, and I've also heard families actually say, "Hey, put them under the tree. Santa will take them to someone that's a little more, in need." So it's a great way to teach generosity to the little ones.
Exactly.
So let's jump in, Brad. Got a new listing that I saw just went live.
Yes.
Now, listing new, it's kind of how you.
So we had it listed.
Let's briefly talk about that.
It's the new construction. It's 30248 Forest Drive here on, of course, one of our favorite lakes, Gorgeous Browns Lake here in Burlington, and it's new construction. So we had it listed while it was under construction. It's now completed. And I'll touch on a couple extra things. Even though it's completed, there's still a few things a buyer could pick.
Okay,
or customize.
Yeah, like what?
So one of the things is the master closet or primary closet, however you like to phrase it. That it's not, there's no rack, shelves, or anything like that. So that's something that can be worked out with the owner. Depending on the offer, could be worked in, could be an add-on type of thing. And then there's a beautiful floor-to-ceiling screened-in room down off the lower level patio. It's walkout basement, and you can do glass inserts to get a little bit more warmth in the wintertime if you want. That would be an add-on. Sellers not doing that, but it's a customization that they can get it done. They can get it done quickly, and it turns that 3-season screened-in area to potentially a 4-season area.
And how many beds? How many baths?
So we had it listed, and I want to make sure this is clear. Originally, while it was under construction, we had it listed as a 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths.
Okay.
There is a bonus room upstairs. I've now listed that as a 6 bedroom because it is a legal bedroom. It does have a closet. It's the only room in the house that carpet, but it's still kind of that bonus room. It would be a great thing for if you're going to short-term rental it, as part of your vacation home. It would definitely be a great 6th bedroom with a lot of great space. Could just be some extra storage area. It's got a really big closet. It's right over top. It's built over top of the garage. Could be, like I said, Workout room, office, kids playroom, extra rec room. It's big enough that it's got multiple purposes. So I do have it listed as a sixth bedroom now, 'cause
Okay.
it legally is, but it's definitely a versatile room.
Awesome. So if you're listening, you've been thinking about making a move, or you just want to see what a brand new build right on the channel of Browns X looks like, go check it out. Give Brad a call today.
Give me a call if you're already working with an agent. Have them give me a call. Love to meet you guys out there and just kind of go over some of the different
Features.
amazing. I mean, this thing is turnkey from top to bottom, inside and out. Landscaping's 100% done, and there's some beautiful, amazing little things that people don't know about living on the channel that
Yeah.
I've learned to appreciate. I did not know this. Your piers and shore stations, you do not have to take out because even though ice is over, so you get your ice fishing done, the wind doesn't shift those things around, so you don't have to take that. That's a three to probably depending on what you have and how many
Right.
lifts, shore station size, probably a $3,000 to $5,000 savings a year,
Yeah.
which is amazing. And then I don't know, the property taxes, it's might be a little less on the main lake, and then you just don't get that all that wind and then the insane noise of the crazy weekend boat traffic. Which I mean, everybody's got their likes, dislikes, and you still have some partial lake views too.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. All right, let's jump into our Q&A. Brad, first
mhm.
question of the day. Is there actually a good or bad time of the year to buy or sell a home? Or is that just something people say?
Great starting point. I'm famous for saying the best time to buy and or sell is when you need to or want to. But yes, seasonality is very real, especially in the Midwest. Our weather alone creates big swings. Um, Not every season has its advantages depending on, I mean, excuse me, every season does have its advantages depending on your situation. The data also supports that year after year.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree. People think winter is dead, but we both know deals still happen this time of year.
Mhm.
Sometimes even faster because buyers are just more serious, right?
Yeah, buyers are definitely more serious this time of years because, I always, one of the things I always say, let's face it, nobody wants to move in January. That's
No.
probably like your worst month just because not only the snow, but how cold. February can be hit or miss. And of course, March, we start to get those spring melt off. So the dust snow, it's not as big a deal. But on the flip side, spring also brings the highest volume of both buyers and sellers, which can create more competition, more activity, and more opportunities overall.
Right, right.
So, question for you, Vince. Why does spring dominate the market the way it does?
Oh, it's a great question. I think the main reason is it gives us more curb appeal, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's things are warming up and people want to start that, planning session of, hey, we're gonna close, move, we're gonna right before
Mhm.
the end of the school year so that their kids could start in the new
Mhm.
school the following,
Mhm.
following season. And the stats back that up. Zillow consistently shows that late May as the strongest listing window for and the highest price premium. So
Yeah. And what you do like, or what we do or dislike or like about working with buyers in the spring is what? What would you say?
Man, it's energy, right? Like I truly feel like we come out of winter and everyone's like gloomy. Sun starts to shine more. Trees are getting, blooms, flowers, grass. It's kind of like us golfers. So, but the buyers have to be quick. Competition uh, gets wild, right? Things start speeding up. You can't hesitate when
Mhm.
you find the right house in the springtime. It's just it goes quick.
Yeah, so if you are, I'll say this to point out, if you're a buyer that likes to sleep on it, take your
Yeah.
time, analyze things, if you're more analytical, winter is an excellent time as a buyer. So I would definitely be in favor if that's the type. Again, there's all kinds of situations. But also for sellers, spring can be gold because it's the season where properly priced homes do get multiple offers, and they tend to often go even quicker than the norm. And we're still under, I think, 30 days on market in most cases, around the 30-day on
Yeah.
market on the stats. But still, you can get things moving pretty quick in
Yeah.
the spring.
So next question. Is summer still strong or does it drop off after spring?
Early summer is basically spring with better weather, I guess you can call
Yeah,
it.
right?
But late summer, that's the buyer opportunity window. They kind of sense it may be closing a little bit, I guess, before you hit into winter and the fall and stuff. But Zillow even highlights August as one of the best times for buyers because sellers who didn't land that sale in the spring start lowering prices.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that can
totally.
be.
Totally agree with
Yeah,
that.
and I
So
I think there's some different things with like with example the listing I highlighted this morning with lake homes too.
yeah,
I think people think a lot of times with lake homes you get it's all about the spring, summer, fall. I have a lot of, not a lot, but I have a good number of lake home buyers right now I'm working with. I know other agents are similar because to me, if I'm gonna buy a lake home, I want to make sure I have it for the full season
right,
for not just summer, but spring too. Because
right.
there's like you said, that energy when people come into spring and they start seeing the ice melt off, the beautiful lake, the trees and everything start to bloom in. It's really nice.
Yeah, I totally agree. Summer is when inventory starts to peak, right?
Mhm.
Which means buyers finally feel like they have options. There's more
Mhm.
inventory out there. There's more opportunity for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, and sellers still benefit from good showings and motivated families looking to move before school starts too. Especially I know in Illinois schools start going back in August, but with Wisconsin predominantly being September, yeah, you do get a lot of last minute pushes before school starts.
Yeah, so if seller waits till late August, early September, they might need to adjust expectations and pricing a little bit.
Okay. Now, Vince, as we head into fall, here's one I'd like to talk to you about. What do you think about do you think fall is underrated?
I do think fall, I think fall's underrated. I feel because fall buyers are just as serious as our winter buyers, right?
Mhm.
They're intentional,
Mhm.
they're qualified.
Mhm.
They want to close before probably the winter months, so they're more motivated before the holidays to get into a
Mhm.
place, before Thanksgiving and Christmas. And some of the states report even show median prices staying stable through those months, and sometimes even rising in early fall because they're committed. They're like,
Mhm.
crap, I really wanted to be in something by Christmas. Yeah.
100% agree. I really think that fall is kind of a hidden gem because, as we mentioned just previously, you do get prices that sellers are like, well, I want to get this moved before winter. It's either that or they decide to pull them off and then relist in spring, which drives me nuts. And that's a whole probably different topic. But um, they do start to lower the price. They get a little bit more motivated. So for the buyers out there, I think fall is really kind of a hidden gem. And there's just a little bit less noise, especially in September when school goes back.
Yeah.
Families really quiet down for that first 2 to 3 weeks of September because their focus is school schedules and activities and stuff. You know this well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So deal with like lots of less noise, I guess you could say in the fall.
Yeah, and right, and from the seller perspective, you're fighting you're not fighting that spring inventory anymore,
Yeah.
right? So you're now dealing with just what is in front of you.
Yeah. Downside, of course, weather does start to turn, especially when we get into late fall, because technically we're still in late fall, even though we're December. It's not winter yet, but
Or winter.
we're in winter. We've got what at least a foot of covering of snow on the ground in the
Yeah,
Burlington area here, and showings also start to get tougher because it's dark by 5 o'clock,
yeah,
and soon here the next few weeks going to even get into the before 5 o'clock. And obviously, a big part of looking at a home is what's it look like on the outside? What's the
yeah,
yard look like?
exactly.
Plays a big role.
So, Brad, we've covered, fall, spring, and summer. Winter, big
Mhm.
question. Is winter actually a good time to list a home?
Yes,
I love it. Yes, honestly, just straight to
yes.
the fact.
Uh,
Why?
for the right seller, I'll say
Right.
that. If you want less competition and that again, because of the weather, that's when your most serious buyers are. You don't get ones that aren't like, well, whatever. They're not usually wishy-washy. So they're on a mission. So when the inventory drops, but buyers are still looking and they need to buy for a seller, that can actually help keep that price point up.
Yep.
If,
Yeah.
if there's a seasonal price thing, which I'm not a big, I don't think there really is.
Exactly. I've seen some of the most solid offers in December
Mhm.
because buyers aren't playing games. They're straight to the point. This is what we want. They're relocating. They're starting new jobs. They're downsizing, upsizing, whatever it might be. They're ready.
Mhm.
They're motivated.
Yeah. Full fun fact too. I know you know this. I think we've talked about it. If you get it wrong, I don't know. I think you
Okay.
should like pay me $10. Um, do you know when the spring market kicks off?
Oh, Super Bowl Sunday.
I just think that's funny, but it's so true because if you want to avoid the winter move, if you
Yeah.
will, if you start shopping, find a home, make an offer, get accepted offer in February, usually between if there's loans, moving, closing, all that stuff, you're not moving till March, which usually by March you do get decent weather, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So so I just little fun fact I wanted to throw out there.
And so going back to winter, the downside for buyers is just simply there's less inventory, right?
Yeah,
There's less inventory in the market because those that are moving, those that are selling for one of I call them the five, six Ds, whatever it is.
yeah,
Diapers, divorce, downsize, diplomas.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, and I will say this too, like snow doesn't always help curb appeal, but it actually can help curb appeal.
we can hide curb appeal.
You can hide curb appeal. So if you're if you're a seller who's that's kind of the downside. Like we've all sold some homes, been in homes where it's like, wow, the inside's great. Boy, I wish this had a little better curb appeal. Snow does cover a lot.
Yep. Yeah.
So if you're selling in the wintertime and you don't have the best curb appeal, nice time to sell.
Right. Yeah, it really is. All right, let's shift strategy a little bit, Brad.
Okay.
When should a seller list if they want top dollar?
Statistically speaking,
Yesterday. No, I'm just kidding.
no, I mean statistically speaking, is spring to late May. Being spring, I would go with that Super Bowl kickoff weekend.
Yep.
Um, and then through late May is very statistically strong.
Gotcha. And if a buyer wants negotiating power, when are they looking to jump into the market?
Late summer into fall is the sweet spot typically for that. I always struggle because I say all this stuff with a grain of salt because I always tell people, tell me a month, I'll give you positives and negatives about
Right,
it.
right.
But overall, statistically speaking, those are the strongest times for buyers is spring, or excuse me, late summer into fall.
Yeah. And what about someone who wants a quick sale, less competition?
Oh, it's winter all day
Yeah,
long.
right now. Yeah, and winter is also where buyers can find that rare deal, right?
Mhm.
I will tell you that if you're buying right now, if you're in the market to buy a house, you should be asking your agent to look at homes that have been on the market 45, 60 days that have not done a recent price reduction
Okay.
and put those on your radar and say, okay, hey, I like 123 Main Street.
Yep.
It's 400,000, but my budget's 375. Let's go look at it. It's been on the market 60 days, no price reduction. Maybe offering them 375 works.
Yeah.
Or 360, right?
Yeah, I think it's again, I think there's just definitely some positive with that. All right, Vince, a little unique question here. Just curious of your opinion.
Oh, I love
Do you
opinions.
think these patterns apply everywhere in Wisconsin, Illinois?
Oh, that's everywhere. Because you use the word everywhere and you emphasize it, I'm going to go with no. I mean, obviously, Chicago is going to be different than
Mhm.
Janesville or Madison, right? Lake Geneva has its own pulse compared to Burlington.
Mhm.
A lake house in Lake Geneva might go a little quicker than a lake house on Browns Lake. Micro markets matter. So,
Okay.
it just depends on where you're going, right? Door County is going to be different than somewhere Charleston, Illinois, where it's college town, right?
I gave the reference early, so I agree 100%. I
Yeah,
mean, I gave the reference early to lake homes, about people wanting to have them. There's even the thing with lake homes in the wintertime, like versus suburban homes. It's kind of pretty if you're looking at a snow-covered, iced-over lake.
yeah,
It's got a different beauty than the water in the summertime, right? So I think there are definitely those niches. Also, condos I think are a little bit different,
yep,
because especially common entryways, you don't have to worry about the snow being cleared. The only thing to worry about if you're moving right then on the day that's snowing, that's gonna suck.
yeah,
But otherwise, if you catch it in between, condo living, your snow's probably usually cleared very quickly,
yep.
so you're not having to worry about,
Yeah, I
you
did an
know,
open house
iron.
yesterday at,
Yeah,
at my condo in Kenosha, and that was people were like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so glad the sidewalk and the walkway and the steps are shoveled." I was like, "Yeah, that you don't have to pay for at your house in Pleasant
yeah,
Prairie."
yeah.
So
But
yeah, that's why it's important having agents who study
mhm,
hyperlocal data,
mhm,
understanding what's important and what's not important in that market today.
mhm,
It's good to work with someone that knows
mhm.
the area.
Exactly. All right, so that's our Q&A breakdown of the best and worst times to buy or sell in the Midwest,
Yeah.
particularly Wisconsin, Illinois.
Yeah, so no matter your situation, there's a season that works for pretty much everybody. It just depends on your goals.
Yep. If you want personalized timing advice or local stats for your neighborhood, please reach out. Like I said, you can kind of see us here, like, well, here's what the stats say, but again, you give either one of us or our team, a month, and we'll tell you like, well, here's positives, here's negatives. I think some of them are obvious, some are a little bit hidden,
Right.
especially that. I like that micro market conversation we had. So absolutely, just reach out to us, and we'd be happy to help you.
Yeah. So I've been Saval with the Eagle Homes team here at Coldwell Banker.
And I'm Brad Brewer. Have a great time, and we'll see you next one.
Bye, everyone.